Round 2 and defending national champion Possum Bourne is back. The two-time Asia-Pacific champion was forced to watch from the sideline as his major rival Neil Bates totally dominated the Respect Yourself Forest Rally near Perth. The New Zealander simply had to be in the action, and just over a week before the Falcon Tyres Rally of Queensland, this was the scene in his Auckland workshop. Bourne's car and equipment was air freighted to Brisbane. The only drama, he hasn't driven competitively for 6 months.
The car will obviously be nice to drive again as long as we've got the boogie and we've got everything else working and I'm driving properly. I think we're going to be hard to beat.
It gives us something to aim for and work towards, and beating Possum is a lot more satisfying than if he wasn't here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! 50, caution 4 left and 2 right.
Like Bates' Toyota Celica, Bourne's car is a brand new shell. Tight and light, it's based on the World Championship winning Pro-Drive Subaru WRX. In effect, the Australian Rally Super Series now has 2 world title cars at the head of the field.
And left, 1, 2 right. Narrows to curbs, 5 left over finish. Go.
Left 4, right 3, left 3.5 onto grass.
On the first special stage, the half-kilometre Kawana car park, the two combatants tied, 28 seconds each. The surprise, the hard-chasing, hard-charging Michael Guest in the production class Mitsubishi should equal the 2 outright cars, the fastest time for a Group N car ever. Torrential rain in Queensland in the week preceding the rally forced the cancellation of the longest stage in the event, the 21-kilometre U-Traverse stage. As the 70-strong field left rally headquarters, the Oasis Resort at Caloundra, fast-drying conditions were making roads quick and treacherous. Competitors in the front-wheel drive Formula 2 class wary of the conditions.
The four-wheel drives get good traction in the soft, greasy roads, but the weather's drying out. With a bit of luck, the roads will be ideal.
Resort owner, rugby legend Norm Proven summed up the feeling of most onlookers.
You can see these boys compete here, and up on those roads they drive on, I reckon they put their life on the line. I don't know about the spectators, but I wouldn't do that for $1 million.
Stage 1 over, the cars travel into the hinterland and into the event's forest stages. The group machines of Neil Bates and Possum Bourne blasted through the opening forest stage, breakneck.
7 left over crest. And 3, 4 right over crest and crossing. 100 past finish.
Bourne scored his first stage win, 4 seconds clear of Bates. In the production class Group N, Michael Guest took stage 2 ahead of fellow Mitsubishi Lancer driver Ed Ordinsky, but his car wasn't to go any further. Engine problems not only undoing his Heat 1 hopes, but also the entire rally.
You can't change engines in the rules the way they are, and we'd have to strip the whole engine down, and then you'd have to... They're a pretty fine-tuned sort of piece of gear. It's not something you can just slap together and hope it hangs in there. So no, we're better to pull out and count this as the round that we don't score any points in and then try again in Coffs.
The Newcastle driver wasn't alone. Greg Graham rolled his Impreza, as did Lancer driver Graham Vaughan.
It was just a tight corner, just a little hairpin, and unfortunately we just backed it in sideways, and the amount of traction the car was getting, there must have just been a little lip there and just popped onto its roof, unfortunately.
Possum Bourne was having problems, his car running wide after his engine skipped a beat.
Flicked it into the corner and then put the foot on the gas, nothing there, so it's sort of sliding, and then finally it got a bit of grip and away we went.
Flip. 4, 5 right tightens to 3, 4 right over crest.
Neil Bates grabbed 3 seconds back, along with co-driver Coral Taylor. Things appeared to be going well. That was until...
Into long right 5.
Got no pull at all.
How bad do you think it is?
It's done a turbo or something.
Towards the end of the long stage, it was losing power, and then at the start of the last stage, it went fine for a couple of K or so, and now it's lost power again. So the inlet temperature is getting way too hot, and it's just losing power and demapping itself.
The problem cost the Toyota team 13 seconds. Dramas are plenty as well in the F2 class. Dean Herridge's Hyundai stopped with electrical problems, and although his Honda Civic was working well, Brett Middleton's intercom was not. Co-driver Linda Long using sign language to call the corners in the Woodbird stage.
Left 5 short. Left 5 through dip. Right. Crest. Immediate left 5. Left 5.
The Nissan Sunny of Lee Peterson remaining strong at the head of the smaller class field. In the Big Banger Aussie class, the Ford Falcon of Steve Winwood was being upstaged by the older model Holden Commodore of Peter Mapstone. Up front, Neil Bates was on a charge. Bates was cutting into Possum Bourne's lead, but the end of the heat was getting closer. Bourne and Craig Vincent kept up the pace to win by 13 seconds.
Crossing late, right over crest, and short 7 left, 80.
Had a few little problems that were paybacks from no testing, but basically it wasn't a big problem, and we were able to have a really good day and win.
The smooth style of Ed Ordinsky paid off. The surprise was behind. The South Australian Paul Kennedy led John Long by 11 seconds, but the Queenslander swamped his car in a creek crossing on the final Forest Drive stage, and Long finished 7 seconds ahead in second place. Formula 2 went Lee Peterson's way. Along with Zara White, it was a great result for the privateers.
Oh, absolutely wrapped. I mean, it's been a real battle for us to even get here. As you can see, we're not showing any major sponsors or anything because we're doing it the hard way at the moment. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Les Walkden rally team allowing my trailer to hang off the back of their truck. And this is hopefully the sort of turnaround we need to show that we can come up with the goods.
The conditions claimed 16 teams on day one. More than half would qualify to restart the next day. As the teams left the Oasis Resort at 6:30 on Sunday morning, it was expected that the Possum-born Neil Bates battle would continue.
The 3-4 right over crest and crossing.
On the opening breakneck 2 special stage, one went to Bourne and Craig Vincent by 5 seconds. Then, a major problem for Bates and Taylor. A total loss of power before the start of the day's second stage. Mitch Ernst, 2, incurring the Toyota team with a 2-minute 20 time penalty, and they suddenly found themselves in second last place.
I think it was either battery post or battery kill switch, and 28 minutes later after I played around with everything, it finally went and we got through the stage.
Bourne now safe in the knowledge that his rival is out of contention, he decided to settle things back a little.
It gives me the chance to try a little bit and, try a few other things, use it a bit more sideways into corners and things like that and see how we go.
The same could not be said about the production class. Ed Ordinsky was forced to drive flat out to keep Marty Beckton behind.
Today was always going to be the attack day, and Ed got us by 6 on the first one and we got him by 3 in that one, so we're chasing.
The Group A machine of Graham Vaughan was repaired and put into service on Sunday, the Canberra driver showing his potential, running into 4th place. Formula 2 was a battle between Herridge, Mackenzie and Peterson. For the young gun of the F2 Brigade, things were going well in the Hyundai. After a rollover at last month's Forest Rally, Jeff Full made his mark in the One Make Silverstone Challenge. The former circuit racer beat home series leader Kirk Marks, with Dale Payne recovering from a collision with a tree on day one to finish third.
Great little car, surprising. I thought it'd be a little bit doughy, but it has a good power to weight package and brakes and handles superb.
In the Aussie class, Steve Winwood scored a Heat 2 victory in a class that attracts plenty of interest from competitors and spectators alike.
It's just an on-flow from sort of the Aussie loving the big Commodores and Falcons. I mean, that's just the flow from the touring cars. If we could see that in rallying, it'd be fantastic.
Possum Bourne and Craig Vincent were enjoying themselves out front. Then a four-legged spectator in the Barumba 2 stage tried to get a closer look.
Nearly got him, yep. He's a bit scary than cows.
Neil Bates was putting in the drive of the day, screaming back up the leaders board. Marty Becton pushed Ed Ordinsky all the way in Group N, the protégé close to the prize of a start in the Rally of Scotland for the country's best under 25-year-old driver.
I'm really happy. We had a really bad preparation and you know, the guys have put a big effort in and we finished both heats, so yeah, I'd be a liar if I said I was disappointed.
Ordinsky happy to win the production class and not only lead the Group N standings, but also figure in outright contention.
I was there today because we were on the pace, but it's always sad so many competitors had bad luck too.
Neil Bates set the fastest time on the final 3 stages to finish in 5th place. The difference was 2 minutes 13. Without the 2 minutes 20 penalty, there's no doubt the Bates-Bourne battle would have gone down to the wire.
Into right 5 on first 10 cut.
Well, it's getting to the time and it's coming down to the last stage of the day and see who's going to have the biggest go to get some time. So that makes it very interesting.
For Possum Bourne and Craig Vincent, the return to Australian rallying could not have been better.
The car's very good. It was no problem for the car, no problem for the team. It was just me, whether I could get in and shake the cobwebs out and get it going in the last 6 months.